Hey there, welcome to the Insight Corner with me, Nikon. I'm here to share with you insights that will help you get unstuck and achieve your goals with less stress, less pressure, and in less time. So today's insight comes from a conversation I had with my coach, Fiona Jacob. She's an amazing coach based in Sweden, and today's about the different types of fuels that we run on to achieve the things we want to achieve. So I have to give you background about where this insight came from. So one day, not long ago, I was just really caught up in my own thinking, in my own head. The feeling was that I was absolutely terrified that I wasn't going to achieve my goals, and I wasn't going to achieve my dreams, and everything I've done up to now was a complete waste of energy and time, and I was in tears. I was so sad. And something funny happened. I got curious as to why I was terrified, because objectively it's actually doing okay. You know, I have two businesses, um, like I have food in the fridge, I have a roof over my head, I have money in the bank account saved away, and I was like, why am I terrified? And I knew enough to call Fiona to have a conversation with her about this, because I think it's and also I think we all get there, right? Especially if you're ambitious and you want to achieve things, like you get afraid sometimes, you get stuck in your head, and it happens. And so when I talked to Fiona, she really helped me discern between the two different types of fuels that we use to achieve things. And I had explained to her what I was going through, and she said, it sounds like you're running on fear and anxiety and stress. And when she said that, something clicked in my head. And I realized, I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm ambitious, I have goals, I have dreams, you know? And I was like, oh, I'm just afraid. You know, I thought I was ambitious, but it really was fear. That my drivenness and my ambition and my tenacity was really being driven by not nice feelings and not nice thoughts. And I was really at a loss, because I was like, well, if I'm not going to be ambitious and driven, then how do I go about achieving the things I want to achieve? And Fiona graciously pointed out that there's something else you can run on, and that other feel is inspiration. And the feeling of inspiration, it's very different than fear and insecurity and doubt. Because if the fear and insecurity and doubt feel like very tight and feel like a lot of pressure, running on inspiration feels a lot more expansive. It feels easier. It feels lighter, and it's a better feeling to run on. And when you run on inspiration, you tend to get to where you want to be faster, because it's just better fuel. It runs better, it's more efficient, it's more impactful, you get more bang for buck. But if you run on fear, insecurity, and doubt, you have to do all the heavy lifting, you have to do all the pushing, you have to do all the grinding. And this was a totally new way of being in the world for me, because I realized all my life I've been running on fear. And all of a sudden it was starting to make sense that I didn't want to do that anymore. And it occurred to me, a conversation I had with a client who was in a similar space. And what I said to her was, it's like you're on a sailboat and you're trying to paddle a sailboat. And the problem with that is sailboats weren't made to be paddled. They were made to sail with the wind. And so I brought it up with Fiona. I was like, well, okay, if we're on a sailboat and we're supposed to go with the wind, like what happens when the wind doesn't blow? And the conversation went around like, why is that a problem? And I was like, oh, me being worried that the wind won't blow and I won't get to where I want to be is also fear. And I was like, son of a bitch, man, this fear thing is tricky. And I saw that it really isn't a problem. And I saw that you're going to get to where you want to be when you get there. But if you're busy paddling the sailboat, you're probably going to get there slower, because you're not helping. Because instead of manning the sails and looking where the wind is coming from, your attention's not there. Your attention is trying to paddle the boat, and that just slows down the whole process. And of course you're frustrated, because you're exerting all this energy that really isn't helping you to get to where you want to be. And for me, you know, how do you run on inspiration? To me, it's to first notice that you're running on fear and insecurity. Like, that's probably the biggest thing. Like, that's probably 90% of the work, is just to notice what fuel you're running on. Because the moment you notice that you are running on fear and insecurity, you can stop doing that. It doesn't make sense. And when you tap into inspiration, like a large part of the weight is lifted on your shoulders because it's not all on you anymore. You have the wind to carry you to where you want to be, and you're much more present to the moment, and you're much more able to observe where the wind is blowing, so you can adjust your sails to catch the wind versus trying to paddle your way through whatever. And to me, when you learn to operate on inspiration, you'll find that the wind takes you to places that are far beyond your imagination, and far beyond like anything you could hope. Like what's that saying? Like, you let inspiration take you where it wants to take you. Sometimes whatever goal you had, like it'll way overshoot that to something way better. And also, I realized just now that in running on inspiration, I really have to kind of let go of my grip on the goal and my dreams, and really trust in inspiration that it will take care of me. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. And so yeah, that's it. If you want to run on inspiration, you first got to let go of the fear, doubt, and insecurity. You're going to first notice that you're doing that. And to me, it's also about letting yourself settle and just noticing where the wind's blowing. And it'll feel just obvious. There's a stillness, and you can kind of tune into your inspiration, and there's an obviousness to it, and there's a feeling of stillness and quiet to it where it just makes sense. And all of a sudden, all these opportunities start opening themselves up to you. And one of them being this YouTube video, because I was like, you know what, I should share my insights on YouTube. And that just became obvious to me when I settled. And I was like, wow, what else is possible? And I've seen this with my clients too. Actually, every client who learns to tap into inspiration, their business takes off, or their relationship heals, or their problems solve on their own. Like, it's so fantastical. And I wish more people knew how to tap into inspiration and really let go of running on fear, doubt, and insecurity. So thank you for listening in. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you like reading about insights and articles, I highly recommend that you sign up for my email list. You can unsubscribe anytime. I do a lot of writing and share a lot of insights that you might like too, if video is not your thing, or you want to also read stuff. And you'll get access to information and future courses and all that good stuff. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye.